I just want to make sure that you can see this.
Can see what?
The squiggles. Oh, I'm not. Okay. If I streamed you, maybe you could see it. There you go.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I
Okay,
can see the squiggles.
let's get started.
Oh, it's unfortunate that these don't save audio. Or, comms, I guess.
Yeah, we just talked about that in the previous VOD we did.
Yeah. My whole team was talking, but...
So, Lucio Kiriko is meta, right? In the rush?
I'm not really sure. It feels pretty good, but I think it's really comp dependent. I kind of just picked Lucio because I didn't feel like playing anything else at the moment.
That's fair. I don't know why
But
he's on Doomfist, but okay.
yeah, I've played with this guy before. I think he only plays Doomfist.
Unfortunate. I'm not sure why you're so far back. I mean, I would be with my Doomfist and Tracer here. Cause
Yeah.
in this comp, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to babysit your Kiriko when she uses cooldowns, or your Sojourn when she uses cooldowns. You have to babysit them to protect them, or you could also play Lucio in a dive manner, like in what was it, season 1 of Overwatch, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're just trying to pick which one to do right now, maybe because you don't have the information.
Yeah, my first initial thought for stepping up on our side of the bridge was just to gather information, see what they're playing. And normally I'm used to playing with like Zarya's, so I can normally sit back a little bit and wait. So definitely a bad play by me to sit there and not go with Doomfist. But he
Well,
lived.
it was a worse play by your Doomfist to go in there without all that information. But, if one of you makes a mistake, that's bad. But if three of you make a mistake, at least you're all together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We should have looked for a boop on someone right there. I would have liked to have seen you boop Genji when he dashed in.
Yeah, I didn't even see him, I don't think, when I was...
But
Yeah,
he,
there he is.
but he died anyway, so
Yeah, traded our Doomfist.
maybe if we booped the Genji, the Doomfist would have lived. Who knows?
Yeah. Wait, when did I use my amp there? Do you mind going back a little bit? I am curious. Because maybe I could have amped Doomfist.
You used it
I
in the
did
right
amp him.
spot.
Yeah.
Personally, wouldn't have booped. Maybe it was because she was bubbling.
I was trying to get her off my Sojin when she did it, but I accidentally booped her out of the disruptor shot because I did it at the same time.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
So
booped
that
her
was
here,
kind of
but
just unlucky.
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Now that your Doomfist is dead, you're gonna have to retreat and you have to babysit other people.
Yeah, yeah. I think we do end up backing out here.
I don't know what he was doing.
Yep. The classic Lucio inting strategy.
Okay, we should be a little bit more aggressive here. Shoot the Genji. This Doomfist is ticking me off.
Yeah, no, you should have heard the comms too. It's a bit angering, but is what it is.
So honestly, as you're playing this game, I'd do one of two things. I'd end with the Doomfist, or let the Doomfist end himself and play a bit more passive.
Yeah. We definitely picked it up a little bit later in the game. Like this beginning was rough. And also my aim was terrible because this was my first game.
Okay. So you've been playing. I'm assuming since you're GM already, you've been playing Overwatch 1.
Yeah, no, I stopped when Echo released, but before that I had played since season 1.
Okay. So I don't really have to tell you that like Lucio's like a problem solver. He solves a lot of problems. Here the Genji's pressuring you guys too much. You solve that problem by moving him away. Now you used amp a little earlier to rotate over here. Now you don't have amp to engage into this fight. Your Doomfist is
Yep.
your Doomfist is committing when he shouldn't and dying for it. We need some. Of course, it's mostly your Doomfist's fault, but we need some more communication between when we have amp and when Doomfist is gonna engage.
Yeah. No, that fight specifically was our Doomfist rushed in, our team followed through, and we all died because he was too far in. But again, don't think it's all Doomfist's fault. And we also had Kitsune Rush, which we didn't use, and I'm building amp kind of slowly.
Well, it's because you guys are all over the place. Like in this comp here, you're not gonna play Lucio, and I'm gonna stick with my teammates. I'm gonna amp heal and rush in, and we're all gonna brawl them together. No, you're gonna play Lucio. Like look at what his amp or his ultimate charge is too. You're gonna play Lucio more like a dive DPS kind of type, and then when needed to, you're gonna come back to your team and peel for your team. So the fact
Hmm.
that you don't have B here is perfectly fine. I mean, could you have gotten it faster? I mean, yeah, but it's not going to be more worthwhile. So both Sojourn's ult. We kill theirs. Genji's okay.
Yeah.
Good play. Almost died
I got
for it.
really lucky. I didn't die. Yeah. I
Well
definitely
greedy.
should have died there, but and then now I have amp or beat, but they didn't have. They used Genji ult and Zarya ult. Actually, they used all their ults in the last fight, but so now I'm just holding it for something.
Yeah, like I mean, we can look at ultimates here, but you should be ult tracking pretty well at the GM level, and I would expect you to beat engage this fight. Um, once Doomfist got back out, so once he's ready to come back in, um, we can beat engage. I feel like this amp wasn't really necessary,
Yeah, no, I agree.
and now Doomfist cooldown should be back up. Now we can beat engage. Once we know that we're all ready for it, like
Yeah,
here-ish.
I do know what occurs here because I believe their Lucio beats in a second here, and then I just amp out.
So we have two options here. If Lucio beats before us, we can tempo beat him. We can wait like maybe 3-4 seconds for his beat to wear off, and then we can beat ourselves. And while we're kiting
Yeah,
his beat, we go back in with our beat, right? And we should win the fight
I
off of that. Or we could
I think
just,
that's exactly what happens.
yeah, we could just peel back out and just completely negate his beat.
Yep, and then amp out.
Nice. Now we beat him. Yep. Okay. Do you lose this game?
We do lose this game.
Okay. You're playing really well. I mean, it's just at this level, at GM level, the only thing we're going to be talking about here is like min maxing. Are you min maxing the way you should be and optimally? And yeah, we've pointed out a couple things here and there, but those couple things eventually build up and matter, right?
Yeah, yeah. And for the most part, I'm pretty good at recognizing when I make mistakes. I'm just curious as to how someone that does this very often would point things out. And you already pointed things out that I didn't notice or didn't think about. So It has been useful, but I do chalk up this defeat a lot on me because there's definitely some big mistakes I made that we would have won if I didn't. So
Okay, let's go again.
that's why I picked this one.
I think you guys are even right now, so get really careful. Now you're down.
And then I entered.
Shouldn't be anywhere near me.
Yeah,
I mean,
when
you're.
my Doomfist walked out, I should have left. That's my thinking.
I want to message Doomfist. Talk shit about him. Valiant effort of trying to boop the Genji in, but we're put ourselves out of position even further, and we all die. Oh no, that's your team.
Yeah, no, our Tracer got a fat pulse bomb, and then I really entered once I got back.
So like, let me just go over something real quick. For anyone, we went over it kind of quickly, but for anyone else watching this back, these kind of mistakes are what we're looking at in GM. The fact that he's sitting here for 2-3 seconds longer than he should, that matters. And you die for it. Pretty surprising. So going into this, do you think this fight is winnable? Do you think we should commit to this?
When I was like seeing it now, because I can see where the enemy team was, when I went here in the game, I was like, they're down 2 or 3, but now I can obviously see all of them right there. So I was going in to try to make sure our Doomfist lived, and then I guess you'll see what happens in half a second. I'm wildly out of position.
Okay, yeah. So what you should be doing here is getting your Doomfist out and stabilizing, and then we can go back in. Because I'm pretty sure we're down at least one player still, because they can run
Yeah, I
back and
think we're.
spawn. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Tracer.
Okay. So if he was full health, if your Doomfist was full health, then it'd be different.
Yeah, we disengage, and then I get Kiriko headshot.
Instead of landing here, we could have just wall right it around this column or corridor, whatever this is called.
Yep.
Okay.
Or even instead of going around the left side of it to start, I could have gone around the right side. Would have been given me more cover.
True.
But
It is what it is. Our Doomfist lived though.
somehow, I don't know if you guys. Yeah, I think he just gets out.
Hello there. And they say chivalry is dead.
Stop their barricade! Let the Kitsune guide you!
Don't really need to speed when we have Kiriko. I mean, if we're crossing like half the map or something, I mean, sure, but we already have speed
Oh,
boost
that's
from
a
her.
yeah. Do those stack well? I forget if that's how that works.
I
you-
would be curious to know the answer. I honestly don't know. If we were playing like a brawl comp, then it'd be worth it. But we're playing more of like a poke comp,
Let the Kitsune
Yeah.
guide
so I would have just sat back here and DPS a little bit with our buffs here. But they pushed all back, so you have to kind of move up to meet them. Okay, now we have amp again. We should definitely amp here. Okay. Nice. Okay, we should go do some scouting. When the bot's here, usually people come through here to meet you guys. Sometimes they come over here.
Yeah.
but you're probably, I don't know what your volume's at or your settings are, but it's probably a little bit difficult to hear the enemy coming this way.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll peek in those top windows there for high ground, although their team isn't very good at that.
A little late on the amp.
Barricades moving.
Oh yeah, and then our Doomfist and Sojourn just carry this whole fight.
Kiriko's Imbo Suzu shit is a projectile, right?
Yeah, her invulnerable.
Okay, so
Your team
let's go back here just a second.
Push started. Let's go.
So what I'm concerned here is, since it's a projectile, you can obviously you have a 3 here, so I mean you know these people are in your aura, and we should immediately amp to just anticipate the increased damage from the Zarya. I mean, look at that. She loses almost all her health almost instantly, and we're on speed.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of Kiriko's, especially me as well, will hold Suzu till the end of the grab, which is something I guess I should probably pay attention to. And then here our Sojourn was even calling it in comms that Zarya was on her, and I just didn't help fast enough. And she died for it, which I think it does actually matter in this next fight.
What I'm thinking about is, in like with BAP and Zen, a lot of times you had to communicate when to use Immo and when to use Trance if both were available.
Yeah.
That's something you probably should communicate as well between your Kiriko and yourself. When to use Lamp, eventually when you have it, when to use Speed, and when she's going to use Suzu. So I expect that communication between you two at this level.
Yeah. I think our Kiriko is the only person that wasn't talking in this game.
Well, that's unlucky.
Yeah, it happens. It's better than no one talking.
So one or two things is about to happen. They're gonna use like 2 ultimates. We're gonna beat them and get a lot of value, or we're gonna like beat engage and they're not gonna use ultimates or something.
Actually, do we want to rewind 1 second here? I'm curious. To like right when our Sojourn was respawning, if it was ever worth me running back to just pick her up, cause she got good spawn, I think. So if you want to zoom out in a second.
She has boosters. Maybe. I think you could have helped a little bit,
Yeah.
but
It's just
the team is right here.
yeah, it's hard to know on these maps. Like I know the other maps, like when and when not to do it, but with the changing spawn, it's kind of strange to
Spawns on
figure
these
out.
maps are
And I think
absolute shit.
their team gets like fast spawn when we cap. So yeah, I guess it's not a great idea.
Your team is close to
Let's see what you did here. We should be playing passive Doomfist because we were down a player. Okay, so they Suzu and Blade. We beat both. We should just kite this out.
They took the robot. Let's fix
Okay,
that.
really good actually.
It's kind of unlucky. It's unlucky our Tracer died though. And then since our Sojourn went the other way, she got caught out.
Yep, that beat was a massive beat, but our teammates are complete idiots.
That happens. Did Tracer get I didn't even know. I wasn't paying enough attention in the fight when I was playing it to know where Tracer was. I was aware of where Sojourn was, but
I mean, you should not be worried about Tracer. Your Tracer, unless you're like ganging up on somebody and taking a 1v2.
Your team is close to taking the lead.
He's back. Oh yeah, no wonder she's doing my feet.
They took the robot.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
Okay.
fix that.
Questionable. Anyway. We traded... Well, if she didn't use pulse bomb like an idiot, we traded B for 2 ultimates. Pretty good. So right now you're
I
kind
almost
of
got my head
doing...
blown off.
What you're doing is you're not engaging with your Doomfist and your Tracer, mostly because I think this is a lot of open space for you, and you're scared to wall ride and jump up there with them, whilst Doomfist can easily get up there and Tracer is of course already in position. So I would expect you to do what you're doing now, is just sitting back, kind of waiting for an opportunity to engage with them, or to...
And they had a... I was gonna say, and they had a popped Sojourn ulti, which is why I'm sitting in this tree.
oh yeah.
Didn't want my head blown off. Although I did peek it, which could have killed me, but I got lucky. Yeah, she was even
Questionable.
aiming at me.
A little out of position here, I don't like it. When you come up here, and well, right up here, you should be going back towards your team here, and
Yeah, I think I do the first time, which would be this time, and then I go back over there, and then I don't do it.
yeah, so, and now you're kind of like in the fight when you don't really need to be.
Okay.
Again, mostly a poke comp, and we're kind of like on the cart. Now we don't have amp. Is that our Suzu or theirs? Oh, that's theirs.
No, that's
Red
ours.
team. Okay. I hate that like you're red team and not blue team. I hate when comms or replays are like that. It's so confusing. Do you remember back in replays when like Rhine Shield and Break Shield were different colors for
Yes,
the same team?
yes.
Oh, I hated that. Okay. I mean, kick rolls should be a free fight win.
Oh, this is gonna piss you off.
Okay. So do we think we could have saved our Doomfist there?
I tried. But
Exactly.
you
You
wanted to
tried,
go in there.
and he just wanted to go in. I think by this time you anticipate his playstyle, even if he's not talking and communicating this. Like, there's really no reason for you to come back here. I think it's because you thought somebody was on cart.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Sometimes I kind of just walk around aimlessly, which is obviously not great. But yeah, probably should have taken high ground. Also, I don't know what I was. Oh, I remember what happened here. My mouse got messed up, so that's why my sense looks really low.
Okay. I would have positioned a little bit closer at this point. Right here. This is the time to like go in because you're full health, you almost have amp, and we're sitting back here. Like when our Doomfist lands, I'm assuming you didn't know what his HP was, but when our Doomfist lands, we can definitely try to boop somebody away, cause I don't know what the timing is, but he can't move as quickly when coming out of ult, right? Boop the Genji, but he dies anyway.
Yeah.
Our Tracer
Also, if I
stays
play-
in. Okay. I think that's just a miscommunication between you three.
They're taking the robot.
Well, it was that, and I think our Doomfist. I remember he was saying something. He really wanted our Kiriko to come. He didn't say anything beforehand, but obviously they didn't. Our Kiriko did not come. But maybe if I played slightly better mechanically, I could have killed their Kiriko and we would have won that 3v3.
If you were positioned correctly, yeah, for sure.
And then I just leave her because she's dead.
Unfortunately, Lucio cannot resurrect the dead.
Nope.
That was just a sound check.
Going somewhere?
This BPM. Yield to this beat.
It's going. Enemy team is pushing forward.
Unlucky, they Kiriko ult and solo grabbed your Doom. I mean, you don't have B, so there's not really much you could have done there, honestly.
This is an uphill fight.
You take the ult trade and you go next fight.
60 seconds.
I have to adjust my approach.
Oh, and then Lucio
Wondering
does
when you're
this.
gonna realize somebody was over there.
Oh, I love helping others succeed.
You could beat and close this fight, or we could try to win the fight without B. It's kind of questionable, whether that's gonna
My-
happen or not.
Yeah, I had the same thought during this game. My thinking was, we don't win this game if I beat here and we win this fight, right? Because I'm the only ult we have, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did end up saving beat this fight.
This
In my opinion, a 4v5 is not decisively won just simply for numbers.
No, yeah, no, I agree. It's just, I think we have to take the risk for this specific game.
Yeah, because if you're either gonna win the game here, lose or win the game here, or you're gonna lose and win the game next fight. So yeah. She could have saved that, but okay. I'd like for you to do a bit more scouting than sticking on the cart. The bot's not going to move any
10
faster.
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Overtime.
So what's our plan here?
Before this fight, someone made the call that they had Reaper ult, and I made the call that they had beat. So we knew going into this fight that they had 2 ults, and I said I was gonna try to beat Reaper away or beat his ult, and then I forget what else we said, but yeah, my thought process was watch for Reaper on high ground this entire fight, basically.
Mm-hmm. So what I would expect the enemy to do here is actually beat the Reaper ult. In that case, your beat should be effective in negating both of those. Granted, nobody else dies once your beat wears off.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
it's a little bit dangerous
pick it up.
ulting or beating Reaper ult, because if he does it next to me and I ult, I just die before I hit the ground.
Yeah,
So.
so you have to keep your distance.
Oh, let's break it. Damn.
Unfortunate that you have to do that. I think we're going to lose this game because of that.
Yeah, that was my what I was saying in chat right as that occurred.
Forward spawn activated.
Robots pushing. Almost there. Just stay on target.
How's that for sound therapy?
I don't like that the amp is fine. I don't like that your Kiriko used Suzu right after. Really, generally speaking, when you're like talking about like, let's pretend this is a line of damage that you're constantly taking, right? If you don't use both of those abilities right after each other, you generally want to like space them out a bit more. Um,
Yeah.
that again, that's something you and your Kiriko needs to communicate with. Um,
Yeah.
I would actually
That was just kind of unlucky. I don't even know why she used it in the first place. Like my amp was okay, but if you look where her Suzu hits, I don't even think it hits Doomfist.
yeah, because you're a little bit spread out and you're actually close to this Doomfist, I would have preferred you to use Amp here and not use Suzu.
Louder this time.
But now we have to be
Yeah,
really
she just
careful.
hits. She just hits herself and I. It looks like.
We could have Suzu the Reaper ult, right? Oh, we kill him.
Proceed with me.
Okay, we should play pretty passive here. We should not be this aggressive. Yeah, we're up a player, but
Speed it up,
we need to
everyone.
stabilize.
It's go time.
And we've lost.
That was my my mistake. I ran straight into Reaper and lost the game there. Because I think we win that fight if I don't get hit by Reaper.
Um,
Because
nah.
we're able to kite out the Genji ult and kill him. And then it's a 5v4.
Okay, so here. Okay, so I was thinking that Kiriko ult was gonna last a lot longer, but I guess it was used quicker. Um, maybe because she has grab coming up, like pretty questionable. You did negate or manage to kite 2 ultimates.
And then I jumped into Reaper.
I think you just wanted to boot him away, but there's no really reason to go in to boot him away if you're
Well,
already nowhere near him.
I didn't notice him in time. By the time I was moving forward, I saw the Reaper and then Lucio just carries momentum, so I was super in there for no reason when I should have just been hanging farther back because I knew they had Reaper ult.
Yeah, your team and yourself should be a bit more passive here. With we're getting healed up now. We're up a player, but
Because I see Reaper here and I still go further in.
yeah,
Time left.
like it's fine to be that aggressive like that if Reaper doesn't have ult, and we know he doesn't have ult. But like the fact is, he used it at a really great time, as in we're up 2, so we're gonna be aggressive, and now we've all pushed forward. He uses ultimate, and we're kind of fucked. So.
Yeah.
Kind of a team issue there. You, Tracer, and Doomfist.
But I did pick this one because it was close. We almost had it, despite I think the significantly worse team comp. And then
Yeah.
out of curiosity, would there have been a different character I maybe should have picked with this comp? A different support?
Zen could have worked. Especially now that he can like boot people away from himself. You can easily 1v1 a Reaper and a Genji with Zen.
Okay.
No one on your team really needs speed. I mean,
Ye-
like we said before, you can like go in and dive with them, but now somebody else has to be on cart. If you're playing Zen, somebody else you could be on cart while your sword drone can play another divey character. Kiriko can dive in with them. They can dive in as 4. You can stay on cart. You can put orb on somebody before they do so, and you could also play Brig. Kind of the same as idea. Pack somebody before they go in. Stay on cart. A little bit more survivability, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I see the Zen. And yeah, Zen makes a lot of sense with Sojourn as well. Brig I don't like so much on this map because the those the areas outside of center where the card starts is like super high verticality, which I think Brig just gets destroyed on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't like her very much on
Yeah.
this map, but I think do think Zen is probably a good pick. Although my Zen is kind of bad. My Zen does suck, but
Just regarding the
maybe it's
comp,
better.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the
Maybe
map
it's
does not
better than.
favor Brig at all. Um, do you think we need to go over something else? Do you feel like you learned something?
No, that was useful. And again, I do struggle playing with Doomfist, so I appreciate the tips. And I agree. I think I did play maybe a little too scattered, I guess is the word.
Yeah, I feel like you didn't understand what to do with diving in with the Doomfist or not, or sticking with your team. I feel like you kind of hesitated a lot and did kind of middle ground between both, which kind of costed you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. I
you're very
appreciate it.
welcome.
I might pop in here again sometime.
All right, well, you just put
Alrighty.
another VOD
Have a
in.
good one.
You too.